but isn't it always? That was the sound of my brand new ring light, which is a piece of garbage falling to the ground, maybe breaking. And, you know, I don't care because it was a piece of garbage and I'm going to send it back to Amazon. I mean, nameless, soulless corporation who sold me the fucking thing. Anyway, I'm going to sit here like a goon for a little while until people roll in. That is, if people roll in. We'll see. We'll see how this all goes. Again, for the meanwhile, please excuse the crappy lighting. I had some technical difficulties, of course. And yeah, but that's what going live and being spontaneous is all about. But yeah, as people are rolling in, I'm going to say that I'm here to talk about physical media. Physical media on Blu-ray, DVD, 4K. Here to show off everything I bought in the month of December 2025. And I am behind on these videos. I know I do them, but I'm behind on them. And December was a pretty hefty month for me. Pretty hefty. So I decided to do a live, and if it goes well, you know, since this is like my third or fourth time doing it, and none of them have gone well. Let's be real. Yeah, you know, time to get hurt again, I guess. So yeah, with that said, I'm gonna talk about some physical media tonight. And I know it's Friday night. You're probably out getting smashed with your homies, or you know, sitting on the couch watching Netflix instead of listening to my boring ass. But hey, got to put yourself out there and just see what happens. By the way, this video, I wish it were, but it's not. It's not sponsored by Ghost Energy Drink, which will be keeping my ass up long enough to talk to everybody and get through 35 titles. Yeah, I got my work cut out for me. So 35 titles of physical media that I'm going to be showing off, talking about briefly, going through them very quickly because, let's face it, no one has time to listen to me drone on and on about each one of these movies. The other good part is that with this video, with live, there's no clips and there's no music by the great Carl Casey and White Bat Audio, which is sad because I love their music. I hope you do too. But no music. Sorry about that. So a little boring, little droll. But we'll try and keep it a little bit peppy and entertaining. Have an energy drink if you need to be peppy and entertaining, just like me. What else? Yeah, so no clips, no filter, no shit. Just going to be going through, talking about some physical media titles here. And yeah, I do want to say, before we get too far into this, big moment of silence. And I mean, I can't say big moment of silence because, hey, there's nobody watching. But big moment of silence for Catherine O'Hara. Rest in peace, Catherine O'Hara. Found that out today. Devastating news. And, you know, she was there throughout my childhood. You know, Beetlejuice, Home Alone, Beetlejuice big time, because that was one of the first movies I ever really paid attention to and was like, this is a movie. Besides, that wasn't something that wasn't Star Wars. So, yeah, Beetlejuice, Home Alone, After Hours. I mean, she just popped up in so many things here and there, and that's what made her so great of an actress. Was she was very versatile, while also bringing some of the same, you know, same charm she does to each role. So same but different. A versatile but reliable actress, and always funny. Great comedic timing, chemistry, especially with the Levies on Schitt's Creek. Schitt's Creek is a great show. Love her in that show. But I mean, yeah, a lot of roles, lot of memories through the years. Just top-notch actress, and I want to say thank you, Catherine O'Hara. So, moment of silence, all you 0 people in the chat. I'm going to take a moment of silence. All right. Not that I was boring anybody with that silence, because I know dead air is bad, but hey, on with the show. So yeah, no music, no filters, no clips. That's why I'm going to keep everything brief. But again, this is all experimental. I like to experiment. If you couldn't tell. All right, I think I'm going to slowly work my way into it. Slowly fade into the mist and start talking about some movies here. Yeah, I picked up a lot of stuff in the month of December. Oop, showing my hand there. Well, actually, I'll just show it. This is a huge stack we're going to go through. And this big box here in the middle, that's the Ninja Turtles box set. I mean, come on, let's be real. We all know what it is. All right. Well, I got a little bit of everything this month. I got some 4Ks, I got some Blu-rays, I got some out-of-print stuff, some stuff that I think is gonna go out of print. Excuse me. Live, everybody. Burps and all. All right, yeah. So the first thing I picked up in the month of December, I gotta say it's a little bit of a controversial pick, only because there's a couple different ways you could have picked this up. You could have picked it up on Criterion Blu-ray, or you could have picked it up on Warner 4K like I did. And that is Pan's Labyrinth on 4K from Warner Brothers. So this was during the Black Friday extravaganza, I don't know, throughout Amazon, Grub, all through the internet. I don't remember a whole lot about that. It was all a blur because so many things were going on sale. Shout Factory was doing their closeout sale. Black Friday was just right upon us. So, you know, Amazon was price matching people. Walmart had some stuff. Everybody had some stuff. Well, except Target and Best Buy. But anyway, long story short, I went with Pan's Labyrinth on 4K from Warner because as much as I like the Criterion Blu-ray, like the thought of that, like on paper, this seemed like something I wanted to check out. And granted, I haven't checked it out yet. I've been busy, things have been happening, but I thought if I had to, like, you know, GUN to my head, which one would I have picked to pop on one night? I probably would have picked this one mostly out of curiosity because a lot of the screen caps online were, you know, they were very different from the Criterion Blu-ray. So it made me very curious to know what this looked like in motion. I'm always talking about how things look in motion. So, you know, had to check this out, even though I haven't checked it out and we're damn near in February. So there you go. I guess I just haven't really been in the mood to watch Pan's Labyrinth lately. I'm sure you can understand. Great movie, fantastic. I love it. It's just not something I'm always in the mood to watch. But yeah, I picked it up on 4K instead of Criterion. I think I'm holding out in case Criterion does a 4K. In that case, then I'll really get out the magnifying glass, pop this thing on no matter what mood I'm feeling for the day, and see what's the definitive version. But I think until then, I'm going to hang on to this and go with this one. I mean, I was coming from the original Blu-ray, which is dated and looking very, very crusty lately. So I figured this was an upgrade. So anyway, Pan's Labyrinth. Next, I picked up a Christmas movie on 4K, and this was one I was waiting for to go on sale on Amazon, maybe during this whole Black Friday, the Shout Factory thing. I don't know. I had to get it, and I paid full price for it because I like this movie a lot. The Holdovers on 4K from Shout. So I could have picked this up on Blu-ray because it was on Blu-ray Universal when it was released, and you know, 4K. And I like to get the 4K if that's an option in the future. Right now, but this is one of the films by Alexander Payne that I hadn't picked, and you know, admittedly, this is one of his better ones. I mean, God, they're all really good, to be honest, but this one, you know, it was the holidays. I was feeling sentimental. I was feeling like, hey, it'd be nice to watch this in 4K for the holidays, so I decided to go with it. Holdovers, I won't talk about the plot. It's a relatively new movie. You can find that all out on your own. But Paul Giamatti, and it's a small cast basically of, Paul Giamatti's a teacher, and there's a student and a cook, and they basically spend the they spend the winter at this college, kind of, you know, while everyone else is on winter break, and the drama that unfolds, you know, amongst them and between them. So Holdovers, one of Alexander Payne's best films. I was really holding out on this on Shout, and I'd rather pick this up on Shout 4K than Universal Blu-ray. Just had to wait a little bit, and that's all. Do you have a favorite Alexander Payne film? Let me know in the comments below. I'm curious to know what everyone's favorite Alexander Payne movie is. If you don't know who that is, then I don't know what to tell you. Moving on. During that sale, the 4K or the Amazon Black Friday Madness picked up new release 4-Year-Old Virgin on 4K from Universal. So this was something I needed to upgrade. I had it on Blu-ray, and why not? I think it was like 22 bucks. Worth it. This movie is fantastic. It's Steve Carell's one of his best performances. This cover alone like cracks me the fuck up every time I look at it. There's so many great lines from this movie, you know, and I think it's Steve Carell's best like movie still to this date. It's still his funniest and still one of Judd Apatow's funniest. The upgrade on this one though, I was hearing good things online and I was able to check this out, and I can safely say it is a solid upgrade from the old original Blu-ray. Definitely worth picking up. You know, I think it's pretty much on sale, so it's readily available. It's not hard to find. Highly worth it if you're a fan of this movie, or if you are just looking to upgrade your original Blu-ray. Definitely worth it. Next up, picked up something from oh wait, I don't have the graphic because we're live, but Rasputin Music picked up Layer Cake on Blu-ray. This is something that was a blind buy. I still haven't even seen it yet, but I've been very interested to watch it because I'm hearing good things about it. It's got Daniel Craig. It looks like it's one of those like kind of like Guy Ritchie. Oh wait, no, it's a Matthew Vaughn movie. God, losing it in my old age. It's a Matthew Vaughn film. I like Matthew Vaughn, but I haven't seen this yet. So say what you will about that. This was something I thought was out of print, so I picked it up because it was like maybe $8 or $9. I thought it was worth it as a blind buy, even if it, you know, doesn't matter if it was out of print. I was like, okay, I don't see this a lot. I need to get it. Got to pick it up. So, I don't know, blind buy. Let me know in the comments if you like Layer Cake and what you think about it, because I know nothing about it other than it's not a Guy Ritchie movie. It's a Matthew Vaughn movie. Moving on. Now here's a case of me not wanting to pick up the limited crazy 4K and just going with a simply cheaply priced Blu-ray, and that is Jacob's Ladder on Blu-ray from Lionsgate. And I'm happy to report this is the later version of the second pressing of that. Although I think the disc is still the same, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, Jacob's Ladder, I think I've seen this movie once, like maybe 5 years ago, and I was kind of freaked out by it. Didn't love it, but it had atmosphere. You know, I give it points for mood and atmosphere. Tim Robbins gave a haunting performance in it. I think everyone can agree on that. But I saw this at Rasputin Music. It was like $10. Had to pick it up just because I kind of knew I wasn't going to get my hands on that expensive ass 4K. And it's a movie I like, but I don't love it enough to kind of go out of my way and search for that 4K or pay that expensive price if I were to find it. So, you know, $8 to $10 for a DVD, or excuse me, for a Blu-ray, worth it in my opinion. Yeah, you know, we'll see. Time will tell. But for now, I think this is good. Picked up something else from Rasputin that's in the same scenario here, where Vinegar Syndrome put out a 4K, and I was kind of like, you know, I like the movie, but I don't love it. Do I need to pay $30 for the 4K? Drop Zone from Paramount, starring Wesley Snipes. Not one of his best movies, believe me. I love Blade. I love Passenger 57. I mean, he's got some hits, and he's got some like little roles that he's great in. This is solid. It's not the best of the 90s like action fare, but it's worth checking out if you can. So I can't say highly recommended, but I'll just say very recommended. It's a rental, if you're familiar with that one. Had to pick it up. It was like under $10. Again, not going to buy the Vinegar Syndrome for 30 or 25, whatever it is. I don't love it that much, but hey, it's a solid action flick from the 90s. It's actually something I remember seeing in theaters back in the day, so kind of dating me there. But anyway, moving on. The next one I picked up is kind of now I'm thinking it's cheesy, but now because titles are becoming and seeming scarcer and scarcer, I thought I better pick this up before all of a sudden it goes out of print tomorrow. And who knows, it might not. But Next on Blu-ray from Paramount. This is a little odd Nicolas Cage like hidden gem in my opinion. It's basically a guy who can like see in the future like a little bit ahead. It's been a while, so I'm a little shaky on the details, but he can see into the future just a little bit and see what happens to people. And I know that sounds cheesy, but it's Nicolas Cage. It's got Jessica Biel and Julianne Moore. Yeah, that's right. Not Nicolas Cage's best, but definitely worth, like, hanging out with buds and beers and, Friday, Saturday night kind of thing. Definitely worth checking out. I haven't seen it in a while. I'm assuming it's going to be pretty hysterical, or just at the least very early 2000s, which at this point it's fine by me because it's not anything recent. Neat little hidden gem. Nicolas Cage, again, not the best movie, but under $10. Had to pick it up. Used. Why not? Excuse me. Next, I picked up a DVD because I couldn't find this anywhere on Blu-ray, and I'm tired of waiting. The Beach on DVD. So this is something I saw when it came out. It's Danny Boyle's, I think, third feature film. I was very interested in it because I was a big fan of Shallow Grave and Trainspotting when those came out. So when this came out, I was first in line to see it. Didn't love it the first time I saw it. Didn't really love it at all. And with time, it's grown on me. And I recently did like a Danny Boyle marathon not too long ago, and ended up throwing this into the mix. And I was pleasantly surprised at how much it aged with me. Yeah, I really didn't like it back then, and my reasons were kind of stupid. I was young and immature, and I think this is a fine film. It's not Leo's best performance. It's not his best movie, but it's definitely something you should check out if you're bored and need something new and yet familiar at the same time. Danny Boyle is a great visual director. He is a chameleon director. He does so many different kinds of projects. They're all different, and that's why I like him. This is very solid. It's about a few tourists going to this hidden beach. It's this hidden island, and it doesn't turn into Lord of the Flies things, but it's basically a forbidden fruit paradise paradise kind of thing, not Paradise Lost. Anyway, The Beach, pretty solid. You can't get this on Blu-ray. You can. There's a what's considered, I think it's touted as a Mexican Blu-ray, and I was kind of scoping that out online for a while there, and then I came across some people who were saying that it's kind of a bootleg. So I held off and decided just go with the DVD. Yeah, it's going to look like crap compared to a Blu-ray or 4K, but it's physical. You can watch it when you want to. And, maybe one day when hell freezes over, Disney will re-release this on Blu-ray in a steelbook for $50. Yeah, not cool. I don't like that model, so I decided to pick up this DVD because what the hell? It's probably the last time I'll get to buy it on physical. Next up, Bourne Ultimatum on 4K, only because I was rounding out my Jason Bourne trilogy on 4K. Not a huge fan of this series. I like them enough. I like them enough to watch them here and there. Couldn't tell you a thing that happens between the 3 movies or 4 movies. I don't even know. I think it's 3 movies. The ones with Matt Damon are the ones I care about. But even then, I couldn't tell you a whole lot other than Matt Damon does some spy shit. So take from that what you will. I hear, I don't know. I hear different things about the 4Ks of these, but seeing that, I don't think they're ever, are these going to get a massive re-release tomorrow? Probably not. Were these individually $10 or under? Yeah. Was that about worth it for 4K? Yeah. And I think it was the first one, the Bourne Identity, that comes with the Blu-ray. It comes the Blu-ray and the 4K, but I think that's good because everyone tells me the 4K of that one really, really sucks, and that the sequels are a lot better in terms of the 4K, looking and sounding like a 4K. But I like having both options. So having the 4K and the Blu-ray at the same time, why not both? Why not Zoidberg? So yeah, these are solid, pretty good, worth picking up. All right. I also picked up something that Kino. I picked up a lot of Kino titles on this list on this during this month. To Live and Die in LA on 4K. Hey. This is something I had on Blu-ray. I was wanting to upgrade. I heard that Arrow was doing a remaster, and they were going to put it out. I mean, it was all just speculation because of some little trailer video that came out. So a lot of us were holding out that Arrow was going to put this out, and when when I didn't see any more evidence that it was actually happening, I just decided, screw it. This is $12. It's on sale. I really like this movie a lot. It's $12. No big deal. It's not a home run like transfer. Like, it's not like the best upgrade. It looks and sounds good. It just doesn't really have that pop, wow, zing factor. I don't think, it's an older film, of course. It's shot on film, so I don't think it's going to have that really when someone does do a real proper remaster of it. But I feel like it could look and sound better. But that's just me. Yeah, neat little LA late 70s, early 80s. Well, Jesus, my 85. It's a mid 80s William Friedkin classic. It's from another time, and if you just look at it as just with that lens alone, you'll have a great time. It's a pretty good film, neat little thriller, cop, cat and mouse thing. Willem Dafoe is in it playing a creepy villain, and he's Willem Dafoe. He's spectacular. Yeah, highly recommended film, no matter what format you watch it on. But hey, I had to go with 4K. Why not? All right, something I'm embarrassed to say that I only saw this year, and I never saw this growing up or as a kid, nothing. I saw it this year. Summer Rental, starring John Candy. This is no Great Outdoors, because I really like the Great Outdoors, but this is in the vein of Great Outdoors, and it's John Candy. It's fine. It's a neat little comedy, and again, it also takes me back to the time of when yesterday. Because all of us, Gen Xers and millennials, we're all nostalgic. So of course, anytime I get to look at the 80s, the 90s, I'm down. So why not do it with someone like John Candy, who's very familiar, and he's John fucking Candy. He was the man. I can highly recommend that Amazon documentary, that I Like Me documentary, and that kind of got me thinking, hey, I ought to seek out some more of John Candy's movies that I haven't seen. And yeah, I'm embarrassed to say that I haven't seen this all these years. And again, it's not a grand slam like Great Outdoors is, in my opinion, but it's solid. It's, I think this, it's Kino put this out. It's only Blu-ray. There's no 4K, but this was pretty cheap. I think it was 12 or 15 bucks tops for this. So well worth it. If you're a fan of the 80s, if you're a fan of comedies, if you're a fan of John Candy, or if you're just a fan of movies like me and you slept on this one for over 20 years. So I can highly recommend Summer Rental, John Candy. Fuck yeah. This is crazy, because this next movie, it's a little hidden gem. And I grabbed this only because Warner Brothers had just made that they were just talking about doing the Netflix thing where they're going to buy Netflix. And so I said, what are a bunch of titles that I need to get on Blu-ray, before all these physical media copies go skyrocket in price and, get hard to get. And, none of that really happened yet. I'm not saying that it won't, but in my haste, and I'm bearing the lead here, I'm sorry, but in my haste, I decided to pick up something from the Warner Archive collection on Blu-ray, and that's called The Hidden. The Hidden is it's the definition of a hidden gem. It's something that I also slept on for all these years and hadn't seen it until this year, and I really enjoyed it. Now I'm old, so when I watch a movie, sometimes I drift off, no matter how interesting it is. I did fall asleep during this, but that's not the movie's fault. It's my fault. I'm the one. It's only me, my fault. So what I like about this was that it was crazy, because it kind of has the same kind of plot as like God Told Me To, where it's like basic, like everyday citizens are kind of going crazy and committing all sorts of random violence all over this city. Yeah, The Hidden, it's about all these people like, going crazy, and Kyle MacLachlan is like an FBI agent, and he's trying to help a local cop figure out why. And it's not a perfect movie. It's just fun. It's okay. It's got a neat little premise. It's got some neat little thing. It's uh, I really want to see this again with like a more finer eye, and I feel like I'm going to like it a lot more the second time. And that's not to say that I didn't like it the first time. It's just I don't know. It was really weird, but it is a hidden gem. The premise is great. The direction's tight. There's like some there's a couple like crazy little action sequences I can remember. Go search this one out. This one, your mileage may vary, but a lot of people like it. A lot of people love it. I think I'm just in the like camp for now. And yeah, the hidden, a hidden gem in every sense of the word. And then in that same, I believe in that same order, I also picked up Shrek on 4K. And this, I don't own Shrek, so I had to own Shrek. It was $12, and I saw Shrek a long time ago when it came out. I enjoyed it. That's all I can say. I don't watch a lot of animation. I don't watch a lot of kids movies. I enjoyed it. I liked it, and a lot of it stayed with me over the years. And I always kind of thought about picking it up on DVD, Blu-ray, etc. Excuse me. But $12, 4K, that comes with a Blu-ray as well. Couldn't resist. I haven't watched it yet, but I think I have to be like in the right mood, or dare I say frame of mind. And with that in mind, Blown Away on 4K is next from Kino. So during the Black Friday Madness, this went down to I think 11 or $12. Insane for a Kino 4K, especially a pretty good title like this from the mid 90s. I remember seeing this back in the day, on VHS with my parents, and hate to say it, being kind of blown away with like some of the stuff that happens in this. Tommy Lee Jones plays this mad guy, and Jeff Bridges is the like the cop, on hot on the trail kind of thing. It's a thriller from the mid 90s. It's got Tommy Lee Jones kind of he has this like Scottish accent, and it kind of, I don't know, it kind of gives you a little bit of a chuckle when you hear it maybe at first. I don't know. I've only seen this like once or twice, and one of those times was back when I was a kid. So what stayed with me has stayed with me. I do remember it being solid. Worth 10 or $11? Hell yeah, for sure. Definitely like not one of the best movies of the 90s or mid 90s, whatever you want to say, but definitely like solid, something you should check out. If you've gone through, your Jurassic Parks and your things like that, like you've gone through like the mainstream stuff, and you're getting desperate. I need some 90s. Check this out. Neat little action thriller. I don't know. I enjoyed it. It's fine. It's good. Next up, picked up one of my favorite films of 2025, and I had to get it on the secondary market only because I'm really kind of sick of this like limited edition crap. Kind of like with the Jason's Lyric. I was gonna say with Jacob's Ladder. I don't like that exclusivity where some companies, Lionsgate, will sell a 4K for 30 or $40, and then you gotta get shipping. And it's just exclusivities with steelbooks. I'm so sick of this crap. Just because it's like some of these companies are like taking advantage of collectors and thinking that because, hey, only collectors buy this stuff, we can charge an arm and a leg and put all these tchotchkes in, make it a steelbook, give you a paper mache of the movie. I just want the disc in a case with the best picture and audio quality that I can get. That's all. But with that said, I had to go on eBay and get this from the secondary market, and that's The Surfer on 4K from Lionsgate. So I really like this movie. it's not like, it's kind of at the bottom of my list of 2025. Nicolas Cage, it's not full Cage. He doesn't go crazy in this, but he plays kind of a mild-mannered man who's trying to buy his old childhood home in Australia, and teach his kid how to surf, and he runs into some trouble with the locals. One of them is played by the late great Julian McMahon, who I almost didn't recognize and didn't know was even in this movie until I kind of looked into it, because I was like, "Who's this guy?" And then I was like, "Holy shit, that's the Nip Tuck guy! That's Doctor Doom, '90s Doctor Doom." Um, so yeah, solid little movie. And it's a little trippy, it's a little cerebral, but it's it's not action heavy. It's not really a drama. It's mostly cerebral, but it's also not color out of space. It's not gonna like take an acid trip and we'll do this. It's good. It's fine. It's solid. And I could have went with the Blu-ray for this for like $15 as opposed to paying 30 or whatever it was I ended up paying on that secondary market, which is still cheaper than what Lionsgate was selling it for. I don't know. Whatever. I just don't want any bullshit. So I can highly recommend this movie. The 4K itself, your mileage may vary on how much you like the movie and how much you care about picture and audio quality. I want the best. And something like The Hidden I would rather have in 4K over something like this, but at the same time, like, this is available, this is here, might as well. My next pick, you're gonna laugh. I don't know why I bought it. I think I only own this movie simply because of nostalgia, and I had a couple of great times watching this in the theater with some friends back in the day. It's the sequel to one of the most successful, like most pop culture influenced movies of all time. Yep, The Lost World on 4K. And you know what? I'm gonna say this. Yeah, all those Dolby Vision releases are coming out soon, and yeah, gonna have to rebuy them. I'm only rebuying the first one. I'm not gonna rebuy this one. This is fine with just HDR10. I'm fine with that. I think I just wanted to upgrade from the Blu-ray that I had, and I'm kind of embarrassed that I even own the Blu-ray. This is not a good movie. Excuse me. This is not a good movie. It's mostly nostalgia, like I said, and yeah, it's 90s as fuck, and I don't know. It was cheap. Next, I picked up The Hunted on 4K from Kino. Now, this is another casualty of the Black Friday sales. It was another $12. Couldn't resist. Tommy Lee Jones and another, action thriller. Although this one's a little more crazier. It's got Benicio del Toro and Tommy Lee Jones in it together. And Benicio del Toro is kind of like he's like a John Rambo type, and he can like survive on his own in the woods. And it's just kind of a thriller. It's just kind of like Rambo, but like pared down. It's not like, it's like Rambo without the action. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen this, but it really gave off those Rambo vibes. Not the best movie of all time, but pretty solid. It's early 2000s, I believe. Oh yeah, 2003. So, your mileage may vary, but great cast, great chemistry together. Pretty solid. And it's that's right. It's William Friedkin. I forgot about that. But I mean, it just doesn't get mentioned a lot because, he's got so much other movies that are like so much better. But again, not to say this is bad. This is pretty damn solid. Definitely check this out. All right, man, my arm is getting tired from holding these things up. Whew. What's been your favorite movie so far? Let me know in the comments below. I'm curious, because I'm just plowing through these as fast as I can. Again, no editing, so excuse all the little gurgles and things you might hear. I'm old. Body makes noises. With that said, I picked up something that it's been going. It feels like it's like going in and out of print, like easy and hard to find at the same time. I don't know. Friday Foster on Blu-ray from Olive Films. I had to check who it was. This is something I think Shout Factory is doing in their. I think it's in their Blaxploitation box set. I don't know. I don't know that I need that box set as much as I would like it if like Shout were to like send me one for review or just to gift me one out of the kindness of their heart, I would definitely check that out, and I would even review it. But in order for me to like buy that, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I really would really just like a remaster of Coffee and Foxy Brown. Those are two of my favorite Pam Grier vehicles. This one's pretty good too. Not the best, but still pretty solid. It's been a while since I've seen this, but Friday Foster is just like it's like Coffee, but she's like a reporter, and it's just trying to kind of capture the same, the same excitement and the same success of those other films. Not the best, but not the worst. Pam Grier is amazing in everything. I remember seeing her in from the 70s, so this is no different. Had to get this. This was, I think, $20 on eBay. I like it. Felt like it was hard to get and easy to get, hard to, enough screwing around. Just get it. Next up, a big upgrade, something I was really happy to get on 4K, an upgrade, because that old Blu-ray was pretty crusty, and this is one of my favorite films of all times, Boogie Nights on 4K from Warner. This cover sucks, and I don't really talk about that in my review on this channel. Yeah, I'm not going to have the link up there, but anyway, you'll see the link elsewhere. I did a review on this, and I thought it was pretty solid. Not the best 4K, not, I think they could have done a lot better. There's, you have to see it for yourself kind of thing. I think it's passable as an upgrade. They didn't remove any of the special features except the fucking trailer, which I'm mad about, but the trailer's on YouTube, whatever. A solid upgrade, I'd say. It's only an HDR10, no Dolby Vision, but what are you going to do? If you love this movie, you owe it to yourself to check it out. If not, your curiosity is just going to get the best of you, and you'll eventually get it anyway. So just give it and get it now. Pretty highly recommended, not highly recommended. All right, next up, I got another blind buy, something I picked up at Rasputin Music, and it was pretty cheap, and it was only because I had heard good. It's only because I heard good word of mouth about this, and this is a Guy Ritchie film, and I'm positive because I just looked at the back. You might have saw me. Rock and Rolla on Blu-ray. So I know nothing about this. It's a blind buy. It's a Guy Ritchie crime movie that I haven't seen. Let me know in the comments if you like it or not, or if what I might think of it. I really like Snatch. I think Snatch is whoa. A little context there. Out of Guy Ritchie's films, I really like Snatch. I also really like The Gentleman. I'm warming up to Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. I own it. You might see it back here, but I don't love that movie the way a lot of people do. And I'm sorry, but it didn't click with me as much as Snatch did or The Gentleman. And those are, to me, it's just like those are so much better. Lock, Stock was just kind of like lower on the totem pole for me. But I like it enough. Give it a second or third chance. It's fine. But with this, I'm also sure that, Arrow or somebody is going to like re-release this tomorrow, because I'm starting to see used copies of this pop up at all of the, local used spots, which is how I got it. But I mostly got it to check it out because if it sucks, I didn't pay a whole lot for it. So yeah, it's a blind buy. Guy Ritchie. We'll see. In my quest for picking up Warner titles that might go out of print, and just stuff that I would be sad if I were, missing out on for the rest of my life, if all the copies were to dry up tomorrow, I decided to pick up something stupid. There's a couple bucks. Yes Man on Blu-ray, starring Jim Carrey. Now, this is kind of a stupid movie, but it's kind of silly, and it's kind of just okay, and it's a comedy, and we're kind of short on comedy these days, so any comedy is pretty much welcomed here. Yes Man. It's about Jim Carrey, who basically says no to everything. His friends ask him to go out, join this club, do this thing. He says no, and then I forget, something happens, and he basically has to like say yes to everything. It's not like Liar Liar, but he kind of like, it's his own self-discipline. He has to go, okay, I really don't. Yeah, okay, I'll go. and then he ends up enjoying himself. And it kind of reminds me of somebody I know. So had to pick this up. You know, it's probably one of his last great movies. I don't know. I haven't really been following a lot of his later movies, and I know this movie's probably 20 years old, but to me it's recent, you know. But I don't know. I remember liking this the one time I saw it several years ago. It was a couple bucks. It's a Warner Brothers title. You never know what's going to happen with them now. Might as well. All right, I'll get this out of the way quick because this took up a lot of space on the stack, the Turtles box set. I do have a review of this on the channel and an unboxing. I did not do an unboxing because everyone else and their mom already did an unboxing. So I just did a little review of it. I really, really like this set. It really, you know, what can you ask for? I just kind of wish I was able to really only buy the first two because, yeah, I grew up with these movies and I really loved the first two growing up. But even as a kid, I saw a lot of the flaws with the third movie and just kind of hated it even back then. So, yeah, very, very solid. If you don't feel like watching my review, I can say that the first film has been restored like immaculately. It's like it looks and sounds amazing. It's got a lot of grain, but again, that's inherent to the source. That's film. But anyway, highly, highly recommended. If not just based on the first film alone, the restoration that Arrow did with that. Two is not as like well restored as the first one is, but they're definite upgrades over those old Warner Brothers Blu-rays if you're interested on just upgrading those. But this is pretty damn solid. It's Arrow. You can't go wrong. Definitely worth picking up. Highly, highly, highly recommended. All right, we're getting there. We're almost done. If I breeze through these. All right. Stargate on Blu-ray. Came across this randomly at a used store. Had to pick it up because I knew it was out of print, and I've had this before and sold it, got rid of it. I was lukewarm on this movie. Hot, cold, lukewarm. It's okay. And plus, now that it's out of print and harder to get, when I change my mind again in another year or so and say, oh, no, I want to see that again, I'll at least have it this time. So, I don't know. Stargate, it's really, this is one of those your mileage may vary. If this is like the movie for you, I say get it because this is like the remastered Blu-ray. And as far as I know, there's no plans and there's no 4K. So this is it. There's also that other edition that's got like the yellow orangish cover, also put out by Lionsgate. It's one of those earlier ones where it's got the silver on the back or the spine and all that. But this is the one you're going to want to get if you want like the best available, at least America, in the US. I don't know. I haven't researched any of the, European or just, I haven't looked at any of the other editions for this. All I know is the two Americans, but there's this and the orange cover, and the blue one's the one you want to get. So yeah, Stargate if it's for you. Yeah. Oh, this is cool. This, I had to pick it up on DVD, and it's also because there is no Blu-ray of this or 4K. This is Death Sentence, starring Kevin Bacon and directed by James Wan of Saw and Annabelle and Conjuring fame. This was a pretty damn good movie. It's basically a revenge movie. Father, the family, and bad things happen to the family, and I think the son gets taken, and Kevin Bacon just kind of goes on a roaring rampage of revenge. Excuse me. Wow. This movie, it's not something you want to watch if you're in a really great mood. You have to kind of be in that frame of mind to watch a revenge movie, something brutal like this. It's also the first place that I ever heard of the music group, the Black Angels, and they got a couple of songs in this movie, and I think they really fit well and added to the vibe of the scene. Because there's one scene where one of the songs is playing, I remember, and it's just like you were just pumped up, a bunch of actions going on, and I was just like, who does this music? And I was late to the game. Apparently, they've been out for years. This movie had been out for years, so I was late to the game on all that. But anyway, very neat. I would honestly say, besides Saw, this is James Wan's like best film. Um, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of like Annabelle and things like that, but I like Saw and I like this. And this is highly recommended. I don't think this is out on Blu-ray even internationally, but I think this DVD was like $3 or $4, so I had to get it. I stopped seeing it kind of around because it was very common, so I'd stopped seeing it around. So if you have any interest in this one, pick it up while you can because it may be getting harder to get. I don't know for sure, but you got to be safe, you know? Next up, another blind buy. Got it for very cheap. The Assassination of Jesse James by the Coward Robert Ford. Whew, that's a long title. It's a long movie, and I haven't seen it. So yeah, it's a blind buy. It's a Western. I'm getting into Westerns. Brad Pitt. It's a Warner title. Hey, I had to get it. Yeah, the scarcity of this one, you know, I was just kind of like, hey, it may just drop off the face of the planet. I've been wanting to see it. I've heard a lot of good things. Had to get it. Might as well. Why not? What did you think of this? Let me know in the comments below because I've not seen it. All right. Guilty pleasure time. And I'm going to be fully honest with none of you who are watching me now live on the internet. This is a guilty pleasure movie, World War Z on 4K. Yeah, it's stupid. It's Brad Pitt. It has no like correlation to the actual book World War Z. It's a stupid zombie movie. It's mindless. It's CGI. It's a guilty pleasure. It was very cheap. I think it was like 17, 18 bucks on 4K, maybe less. Had to get it just because it's a guilty pleasure. I'll move on now. This is something I really been wanting to upgrade. And then with the passing of Rob Reiner, it kind of motivated me to do that. And that was to upgrade Stand By Me on 4K from Sony. So I'm pretty sure there's a steelbook of this with, you know, Dolby Vision, but I had that old Sony Blu-ray, and you know, going from that to an HDR10 4K, that alone is a pretty damn good upgrade in my opinion. Now, if this were like one of my favorite films of all time, top 5, top 10 kind of things, yeah, maybe I'd like sought out that steelbook. But even then, there's a lot of movies I consider very, you know, solid that I still won't pick up the steelbook because it's a steelbook, because it's $50, or because it's out of print, or just on principle alone. Anyway, this is a pretty solid upgrade if you're coming from a DVD or a Blu-ray. But if you're really like obsessive about this movie, like any Sony, you're going to want to wait for the expensive steelbook with the Dolby Vision. But the HDR10 version worked well enough for me. And this movie holds up. It's great. It's classic. I remember seeing it as a kid, and it just gets better every time you see it. And as you get older, you get new things out of it for sure. And you know, I saw those things as a kid, but it's like there's things that really, I think because I don't watch this a whole lot and I only watch it every so often, it just feels so new to me every time I see it. And again, I feel and get something new out of it each time. Highly recommended. Rest in peace, Rob Reiner. Man, talk about another celebrity we lost. That just, oh, geez. Whew. Excuse me one moment. Next up, I have another blind buy. Well, actually, it was a Christmas present. My parents, I told them I was getting into Westerns. And my dad has always been telling me to watch The Outlaw Josie Wales with Clint Eastwood. And I've always kind of brushed him off because, you know, was never really into Westerns. But now as an old, I'm getting into Westerns. So they got me The Outlaw Josie Wales on 4K for Christmas. Still haven't seen it yet, and that's only because I've been kind of catching up on some of the other Westerns that I've, you know, been meaning to catch up on, like the Dollars trilogy, which, yeah, I've never seen until recently, but holy shit, those movies are good. Django, the original Django, I just saw that. Highly recommended. This is coming up next. This is this is next on the list. Probably the next Western I will be watching. Clint Eastwood. It's a Warner 4K. I don't know. Don't got anything else. Don't got anything else to say other than that. I'm anxious to see how it is. Next up, neat little classic from the early '90s. Something I remember seeing as an early teen. Showdown in Little Tokyo. Another Warner Brothers title that I was pretty paranoid about going out of print, being lost forever. This is a neat man. This is a fun, like, I remember seeing this as a kid, but I didn't really give much, like, I didn't really care too much. It was just kind of on in the background kind of thing. I perked up when Tia Carrere took off her clothes midway through the movie. Yeah, another reason to check this out. But this is a tight, solid action movie, and it's 78 minutes, and it stars the late great Brandon Lee and Dolph Lundgren and Tia Carrere, and it's also got oh man, I'm gonna screw up his name. In fact, I'm not even gonna say his name, but the guy who played Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat, I cannot say his name. Excuse me, but he just recently passed away. He's in this. He's pretty great in this too. This is a neat little, like, solid, tight action movie from the early '90s, and it's got some great, like, action. It's got some great, pew pews. It's got some explosions. It's got some nudity. It's just one-liners. I mean, and it's under 90 minutes. I kind of wish it were actually like another 15 minutes longer, to be honest, but I don't know. This is highly recommended if you're a fan of action movies, only because this is, another just definition of hidden gem. Hidden gem all the way. I watched this recently after buying it, and I think I had it on kind of not in the background, but I was paying attention to it, and then it just kind of like I left it on, and it just repeated, and then I sat there and I watched it start to finish after just watching it again. So, man, neat, solid little action flick. Highly recommended. I think you can still get this for about $20-25 from like Amazon. So get it while you can. I don't know that it's going out of print, but you never know. But if you get anything out of this, like, video at all, pick this up. Very highly recommended. Next, and we're almost done. We've got a few more to go. Next up, I picked up the Studio Canal version of Fifth Element on 4K. I love The Fifth Element with all my heart. I've probably bought this movie at least 10 times on 10 different formats, or 10 times on maybe 3 different formats. Going back to the VHS, one of my favorite movies. I love it a lot. It's very unique, stylish. It's 90s. It's Bruce Willis. It's sci-fi. A lot of people were confused by this movie back in the day. Even back then, I was always kind of like, why? It's pretty cut and dry. Like, yeah, there's some, like, elements that are a little weird and a little off, but, like, you take them in stride. You just, gotta let the art flow over you. You gotta, keep going. Let the story and everything unravel. Love this movie with all my heart. This is a big upgrade from the from the Sony 4K, and I had that. I think I got it cheap, but I think I shelled out the extra bucks on eBay just to get this. Only because that Luc Besson, like, box set came out, and I think that has, like, the same master as this. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I was like, I'm not going to buy that huge ass box set. No, I'm not on a budget, but, like, I don't need that. I don't want all of those movies. Hey, I like his movies, but I don't need all of them. I didn't need that. I just wanted to upgrade this one. Maybe Leon as well, but I just wanted this. So, hey, I got it. And it is an upgrade if you're looking to upgrade that Sony 4K. So highly recommended if this is a big favorite fan, if this is like one of your favorite films, like it is mine. Next up, picked up one of my favorite films of 2025 on the only edition you can get it on, and that is Begonia on 4K. Neat little movie from Yorgos Lanthimos. I still can't see his fucking name. Excuse me, Yorgos. I'm sorry, but Begonia was pretty damn good. Kind kind of a sleeper. I didn't hear about this. I didn't know about this. I kind of slept on it a little bit. So I kind of was late to the party and saw it later, in the year, but very, very solid little movie. I also hear that it's based on a movie called Save the Green Planet. I think it's a Korean film. I've got that on the docket to watch. So trust me, I'll be checking that out and kind of like, of course, mentally comparing it to this. But this was one of my favorite films of the year. I'm sure Save the Green Planet is pretty damn good too. But yeah, this is good. It's a crazy little movie about Jesse Plemons and his friend think that Emma Stone is an alien, so they kidnap her and shave her head and try and get her to make contact with her aliens, and she's not into it. And she's like, "You guys are crazy," and that's all I'll say. It's a crazy little movie, very crazy. Highly recommended though. And next, I picked up one of my favorite films of all time, and I'm so glad I did on 4K, Pee-wee's Big Adventure from Criterion. So I did an unboxing / review of this also on the channel. I really, really like this. I love this movie like more every time I see it, and I've seen it more times than I can count. I fucking love this movie so much. Pee-wee is just so much like a part of my life, a part of my childhood. So I had to get this on 4K when it was released. It was not part of the Criterion sale, so I didn't get the discount, but I don't care. I love it so much. I wanted to do a review of it. I wanted to see it in 4K because, hey, to me, the old Warner was getting a little crusty. It's still serviceable, but the old Warner Brothers Blu-ray, sorry, but that old Blu-ray was getting a little crusty. Criterion doing a 4K, you have my full attention. So you also have my money now because I bought it. Highly recommended. I do a review on it. Well, of course, spoiler alert, I loved it. I have it. I didn't get rid of it. Yeah, definitely awesome. The artwork, very interesting to say the least. Not what I would have picked, but yeah, pretty interesting artwork there. Speaking of artwork that's interesting, I picked up Second Sight's Possession. And I can't show the bottom of this because it's got nipples. And YouTube doesn't like nudity. Possession. Crazy little movie with Sam Neill, who is basically getting a divorce from his wife. And it's kind of like a breakup movie and a horror movie at the same time. And very influential movie. Been talked about a lot on the internet. I'm sure you can find people talking about this movie ad nauseum. I won't, however, but I will say that I haven't seen this only until recently, and I fell in love with it. I heard Second Sight was doing a restoration of it, so I waited. I didn't buy any of the other copies that were floating around out there. I waited, and I picked up the standard edition while everyone else was picking up the big ass box edition that takes up way too much room, in my opinion. I kind of glanced at this disc. I haven't had a chance to really watch it because it's kind of a movie you don't really, again, watch all the time. It's not something you watch when you're feeling happy. You have to be in the right mood. So I skimmed this, and I can say that I'd have no frame of reference from the other Blu-rays or DVDs or 4Ks or anything, but it looked fine to me. Second Sight always does great work. I have no problem with their transfers. I should have no problem with this. So if you're looking to get this movie, go with Second Sight. You have two options. You either have the big box version or you got the standard like I like getting. And yeah, just a neat little standard issue. Oh! Anyway, highly recommended Possession. All right, two more, and then we're done. I'll get out of your hair. I'll go bounce around this room and maybe watch some of these movies. The next two titles, they have no correlation to anything. They're just random pickups near the end of the month. So I picked up Maniac on 4K from Blue Underground. So this is something I had on Blu-ray, and I felt like I felt like I needed to upgrade it. So I think it was cheap on Amazon. Why not? Maniac is 80s horror. Hey, it's a classic. If you don't know about it, look into it, because if you're into horror movies, you need to see this. You need to know about this movie because it's, I guess as they say, it's seminal. And I think I think that has a couple of different meanings in my book. I always feel weird saying it, so I'll just say it one more time. Seminal. And we are at the hour mark. So yeah, Maniac. Highly recommended on 4K. That old Blu-ray I had, also from Blue Underground, while it was great at the time, it hasn't like stood the test of time, so it's a little crusty. So upgrade to the Blue Underground 4K if you're interested in Maniac. And lastly, the last thing I picked up in the month of December on physical media was Hook on 4K. And this was an upgrade from the Blu-ray, of course. And I remember watching this, I think when it came out back in the day in the Christmas season. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I remember seeing this around Christmas time. And so, of course, I kind of had that nostalgia bug. I found it on eBay for pretty cheap. Had to get it. Hook is Robin Williams and Dustin Hoffman, not at their best, but they're very entertaining in this movie. They both, you could tell they're both like giving it their all. And I mean, I know this is not like Steven Spielberg's like best work. In fact, I think even he said some, words, besmirching it. I don't know. I don't know about you, but if you're like a kid in the 80s and 90s, you might have some affinity towards this movie. I do. I love it a lot. I think it gets a bad rap, but on 4K, hey, it's Sony again, so this is HDR10. There's no Dolby Vision. In fact, I don't think there even is a steelbook of this with Dolby Vision. So you're not missing anything. I think this is the only release. But now that I've said it, I'm sure they'll come out with a steelbook tomorrow that's going to be, available for a week and going to cost upwards to $40. But that's just me being kind of dismal about the state of physical media right now, because while I'm really happy that people are more into physical media nowadays, it's kind of a bad thing at the same time. A lot of titles are harder to find. There's a lot more competition, and there's a lot of scalping going on too, and a lot of reselling. And wow, I did not mean for this to be a soapbox section, but hey, here we are. Anyway, I can highly recommend Hook on 4K. I can highly recommend Hook on 4K. It captures that like childhood, like Peter Pan, it's very Spielbergian, where it's all about messed up fathers and getting the magic back, and got the great John Williams score. This movie's great. It gets a bad rap, like I said, but anyway. Back to the state of physical media sucking ass. No, I'm kidding. It doesn't suck ass, like I say. It's just, I think it's, I think we're in a transition period where it's not. Yeah, we may not get another format after 4K, but I think so we're not in final form yet. But I think it's still working out the creeks, because as the world's changing, streaming's changing, people's viewing habits are changing, people's like expandable income is changing, it's expanding. Not everyone wants to go out and buy a $30 Blu-ray, except collectors, and that's where I think it's bad too, because like I said, a lot of the studios are taking advantage of that and saying, hey, we can really get these collectors and charge them for all they're worth if we, make something exclusive, only put it out for a month, or like put some limited edition thing on it. I'm kind of sick of that. I think everyone should be able to go to a store, and if you can't go to a store because things have changed, you should be able to go to the internet and just say, I want to buy that movie, and get it shipped to you. Growing up in the 90s, I always kind of thought like we would have movies beamed to our head by this point, and I think we're almost there. But that instant gratification. But I still think we should be able to click and then get the thing in the mail a day or two later. I don't know. I just, there's bigger problems in the world right now, and physical media is just kind of the band-aid I'm putting on it while the world and my world falls apart inside of me. I'm gonna go crash now. I'm kidding. Well, since no one's watching, who cares? Anyway, yeah, so this is another failed experiment in physical media or physical therapy live. Physical therapy is usually a monthly series in which I go over all of the 4Ks and Blu-rays I buy in a given month and talk about them ad nauseum, which I just did for an hour and 5 minutes. So, yeah. What were some of your favorite picks? Let me know in the comments below. Some of the blind buys I have. Am I going to like them? Do you like them? Are they your favorite films? I don't know. Talk to me in the comments. Please like this video. It helps me get this out to somebody. Maybe I can get 25 views instead of 23 one day. We'll see. So yeah, I'm going to go now. Don't forget to like this video, share and subscribe to the channel. And while you're at it, keep those eyes red, baby. See ya.